Crazy people who had surgery to look like someone else. 1. The man who is getting extensive plastic surgery to look like an elf. 25-year-old Argentinian man has spent more than $45,000 on plastic surgery to look like a real-life elf. Buenos Aires resident Luis Padron is so fascinated with elves that he's determined to look like one. He started bleaching his skin and hair and is currently spending more than $7,000 a month on special creams, dyes, and SPF 100 sunscreen to change his complexion. Padron also spent more than $45,000 to rework his face, which includes liposuction, a nose job, body hair removal, and procedures to change his eye color. He became obsessed with the fantasy creatures in his teen years after being bullied as a child. 2. The man who underwent plastic surgery to look like Chinese billionaire Jack Ma. Jack Ma, the founder of the Alibaba Group, has one of the most recognized faces in China, but he's not exactly famous for his good looks. Still, that hasn't stopped a young entrepreneur from spending a small fortune on plastic surgery so that he could look more like the billionaire. Huang Jian, a young man in Shenzhen, claims that he has spent around 1 million yuan $145,000 on plastic surgery to like Jack Ma. Jian says that he is a big fan of China's second richest man and is undergoing this extreme makeover in the hopes of one day meeting his idol. 3. The manga fan who went under knife to look like a cartoon pin-up. Nozomi has been dubbed the two-dimensional babe after her drastic transformation has left her with enormous eyes and a flat face out of a comic book. Now, the vlogger from Tokyo, Japan is being bombarded with attention from adoring men with comic book fetishes. Social media users are stunned by her bid to emulate her favorite anime pin-ups, especially after realizing the photos of her face have not been doctored. Nozomi is a familiar face at manga conventions in Tokyo, in particular, the anime capital known as the Akihabara district. She came up with her online persona in 2013 but relied on makeup to achieve her striking look until 2016. 4. The man who spent over $80,000 on plastic surgery to look like Britney Spears. Brian Ray, a 31-year-old man from Los Angeles, California, is so obsessed with pop superstar Britney Spears that he has spent $80,000 over the last 14 years to look like her. Ray says he knew there was something special about Britney the first time he saw her. The look, her voice and her choreography were the perfect package for him and he knew he wanted to be like her. So at age 17, when the dentist designing his veneers asked him which celebrity smile he wanted to base his on, he answered almost instantly. But that was only the beginning of Ray's transformation, as over the last 14 years, he has had over 90 cosmetic surgeries to make himself look more like his idol. And Ray's obsession with Britney Spears isn't just about looks. He also learned all of her choreography and performed her most famous dances in nightclubs, watched all her interviews, dressed up like his idol, and lip-synced her songs. 5. The plastic surgery addict who wants to look like a real-life male doll. This wannabe model and real-life doll and is hoping to get a nose job on the NHS because he thinks it's a bit big. Grant Colson has already had fillers for acne scars paid for by taxpayers and now wants further work on his face. Grant said he was suffering from low confidence before having corrective work on his acne scars. Now, the 25-year-old went to doctors about his nose, telling them he struggles to breathe. But when speaking to the press, he confessed, "I think it's a bit big, it has a bump in it. It's looking likely I will get it. I should hear in a week or so." 6. The Texas woman who is trying to look like Ivanka Trump. Tiffany Taylor is a country girl at heart, and the 33-year-old mom of 3 is a Texan through and through, with a surprisingly cosmopolitan role model. For the past year, Taylor, an aspiring socialite who works in the oil and gas business, has been transforming her body and face to look like Ivanka Trump, the eldest daughter of Donald Trump. Taylor has already undergone multiple rounds of plastic surgery to look like her beauty idol, and she wants more. She recently went in for another round of surgery for a new nose job and to have her eyelids done. So far, Taylor has spent approximately $60,000 on plastic surgery. 7. The guy who spent thousands on plastic surgery to look like David Beckham and ended like Kim Jong-un. It's entirely reasonable to want your life to be like David Beckham's. The soccer superstar is regarded as one of the best athletes ever. He has a reported net worth of $350 million, and he's married to the extraordinarily beautiful Victoria "Posh Spice" Beckham. That said, a young man named Jack Johnson has spent nearly $26,000 in government benefits to transform himself into a David Beckham lookalike. The only problem is that, as a few Twitter users have so kindly pointed out, he looks more like a white Kim Jong-un than people's former sexiest man alive. Worse yet, he wants to shell out another $40,000 to complete his quest, and he believes that when it's complete, he'll become acquainted with the likes of celebrities such as Nicki Minaj, Beyoncé, and Simon Cowell. 8. The family that gave their pet plastic surgery to look like Dog from The Mask. A family was criticized after they took their dog for plastic surgery because they didn't like the shape of its ears. Vets were asked to lower the Jack Russell's ears because they wanted him to look more like the dog from The Mask. Marina Esmet, 37, from Russia, bought the puppy for her son but noticed that his ears were growing upwards. The family used weights and glue to try and keep them down, but when that failed they opted for plastic surgery instead. The vets they visited tried to the dog's owners out of the surgery, but they were adamant. Surgeon André Mezin said he was against the operation, calling it unnecessary, but the procedure was eventually performed. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more upcoming videos.